And tonight's Easter session, we're going to do another Ignatian guided meditation on an Easter reading. And I'm going to give a brief talk about Ignatian meditation before the centering prayer. So let's begin with some chanting.
Lindsay,
Yes.
can you talk a little bit louder?
Oh, yes. I will try. I'm not always very good at talking loud.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's something. Sorry, I changed my operating system this week, and so everything's a little different, and the play button is behind the screen sharing controls. I'll have to work that out. So we're going to chant this psalm in an antiphonal mode, so if you choose, you are welcome to chant the antiphon with me with yourself on mute, or join in any way you like with yourself on mute. God whispers to the heart, be still, I am with you. God whispers to the heart, be still, I am with you. God is our refuge and our strength, a present help in times of trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth be moved and shaken. God whispers to the heart, be still, I am with you. We will not fear, though the mountains be toppled into the sea, though the depths of the waters rage and foam. God whispers to the heart, be still, I am with you. Be still and know that I am God. God is with us. God has spoken, and the earth shall melt away. God whispers to the heart, be still, I am with you. Welcome to this digital contemplative prayer group. This is a place for all God's people. Whatever your beliefs or doubts, you are welcome here. If you're new to centering prayer, just follow the instructions as the session unfolds. You're also welcome to use the silence in any other way that is right for you. Loving God, we ask for your blessings upon this gathering, recognizing that we bring the joys and sorrows of our lives here today. If anyone would like to mention, silently or aloud, expressions of gratitude or concern for ourselves, our families, our friends, our society, or our fragile planet, please do so now.
Gratitude for friends.
Gratitude for being able to hug my grandchildren again.
Gratitude for Therese Solione's life on earth and prayers for her as she's passed over.
Prayers for those struggling with addiction.
God, we trust that you hear our prayers, silent or spoken, wordless or in words. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about Ignatian style guided meditations. We did one last week for our Maundy Thursday service, and some of you have told me that you found that meaningful, so we're going to try that tonight. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about it. Ignatius Loyola is the creator of Ignatian meditation, and he believed that God can speak to us through our imaginations. In the Ignatian tradition of the exercises, the word contemplation has a very particular meaning and is a very active way of praying that uses visualization to invite us into a gospel story. We allow ourselves to be very present to the events of Jesus' life. We pay attention to all the details, the sights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes, the sensations of the scene taking place around us. We engage with the story in creative ways that might surprise us, allowing the story to unfold anew. And the scene doesn't have to play out the way it did in the original gospel reading, but we don't have to worry about historical accuracy or physical plausibility. We can allow the story to come alive. This is your meditation, and it can play out in whatever way you wish. You can offer your prayer time to the Holy Spirit and trust that your imagination and the Spirit will collaborate to create something that is meaningful and illuminating for you right now. If your imagination feels like it's going a little too wild, ask yourself whether it's leading you closer to or farther away from God. Apophatic prayer comes from the Greek apophatikos, which means without images or concepts. And our beloved centering prayer takes us beyond words, images, or concepts in the apophatic tradition. So that's what we're more used to in this group. In contrast, cataphatic prayer comes from the Greek kataphatikos, which means with images or concepts. So that's a kind of prayer that uses our reason, our imagination, our feelings, our will. It may feel a little bit more familiar to us than apophatic prayer, which takes us away from more ordinary ways of thinking. Ignatian guided meditation takes us deep into the realm of cataphatic prayer, and so therefore it's a departure from our usual way of praying in this group. But some of you told me that you found it enjoyable and meaningful to pray in the Ignatian manner the way we did last week. While some of you may find this kind of imaginative prayer difficult, you might not be able to picture the scene easily, yet you might have some kind of intuition or gut reaction to the story, or you may feel drawn to pray with the story in a different way than I'm describing. Allow God to speak to you in the way that is right for you in your prayer, tonight and always. And tonight I'm going to try something a little bit different than last week. Last week I read the gospel story a couple of times before offering you the prompts for the guided meditation. This week I'm going to do the same thing, but after I've read the story the second time, I'm going to also offer you an image in the Visio Divina style. So you're welcome to ignore the image if you find that distracting or too much information. Just close your eyes and stay with the prompts, or if you find the image helpful, there it is for you to use in your prayer, if that's helpful to you. So let's turn to our 20-minute period of centering prayer. I invite you to sit with your back straight and your feet flat on the ground or in any other stable position. your hands on your thighs or in your lap, and gently close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and notice if there are any adjustments you need to make to be comfortable, stable, alert, relaxed, natural for the prayer period. If there's any tension in your body that you need to give a little wiggle or a shake to, or if there's any emotional residue from your day that you'd like to just touch with your attention and let go of. And take a moment to notice who God is for you right now, whatever that might mean. A sense of mystery, darkness, healing, resurrection, presence, absence, hope. Whatever's alive for you right now in your relationship with the sacred, renew your commitment to be open and present to that divine essence so that it may act upon you during your prayer time. Then let go of that and silently begin to repeat your sacred word or touch your sacred breath gently with your attention, if you'd like to, using your sacred symbol to orient yourself towards God, reminding yourself that it's there whenever you need it. And during the prayer period, whenever you notice that you've become engaged with your thoughts, you can just gently disengage yourself, returning to your sacred symbol, if that's helpful. Loving God, we listen for your voice. So I'm going to read you a passage from the Gospel of John, 2 times slowly with a silence in between, and then I'll read you some prompts for the guided meditation. And I mentioned before that I was going to show you an image, but I see now I just changed my operating system on my computer, and so every time I turn it on, it's a new adventure, and I see I can't do that tonight, so don't worry about the picture. It will just be the same as last week. Listen with the ear of the heart. Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb, and she saw 2 angels in white, sitting where the body of Jesus had been lying, one at the head and the other at the feet. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." When she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you looking for?" Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said to her, "Do not hold on to me, because I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her. Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb, and she saw 2 angels in white, sitting where the body of Jesus had been lying, one at the head and the other at the feet. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." When she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you looking for?" Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said to her, "Do not hold on to me, because I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her. Now imagine that you are right in the story, as it is happening. The scene does not have to unfold the way it did in the reading, and you don't have to worry about historical accuracy or physical accuracy. This is your meditation, and it can play out in whatever way you wish. Take all the time you need to place yourself in the setting, in vivid detail, with all 5 of your senses. You might be one of the people in the story, or you might be someone who isn't mentioned in the story, or you might be something in the story that isn't a person. Who or what are you? Where are you? Look around. What does the scene look like? Notice the weather. How does the air around you feel? What smells are in the air? What sounds do you hear? What draws your attention in this setting? there people near you? What do they look like? How are they dressed? How do you feel about them? What are you doing, or what would you like to do? What emotions do you feel in this scene? Notice and experience what happens as the situation continues. And now, the others have all gone away, and only Jesus is left. He sees you, welcomes you, and invites you to sit down and talk with him. If you could ask him or tell him something about your own life, or about your experience in this scene, what would it be? Could you ask or tell him now and hear what he says to you? you to draw your meditation to a close. You can always come back to this place again. Make whatever preparations you need to return to your ordinary consciousness, to say goodbye to the scene. And I invite you, if you choose, to share a word or phrase that expresses your experience.
Humbled. Such deep gratitude.
Love.
Healed.
Mary.
Inspired.
I'm going to close tonight by chanting this prayer from Stephen Charleston. Let it grow in us, this light. Let it grow in all of our hearts, the light of our love for one another. Let it grow and get stronger. Let it become ever more radiant, unfolding all who need its blessing. Let it heal us, this wondrous light. Let its love heal our fear and sadness, so that we may rejoice in being alive. Let us be freed by the powerful light of the Spirit. Let it open the cage of despair in every mind. Reach towards the light that is already encircling us, even as we finish praying these words. Thank you for being here tonight. It was wonderful to be with you, and please feel